What if everything you've been told about getting older is one of the biggest misconceptions of our time? That creeping unsteadiness, the name that evaporates just as you're about to say it, those endless 3 a.m. staring contests with the ceiling? What if those aren't inevitable sentences but optional detours? Prepare to question what you thought was fixed. Because today we're not just talking about aging, we're uncovering the secrets to ageless living. While society might whisper that decline is normal, what if I told you there are people in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s who are not just surviving but thriving, walking miles with ease, recalling cherished memories instantly, and sleeping like babies? This isn't magic. It's a hidden biology unlocked by surprisingly simple yet powerful habits. Are you ready to discover if you are aging differently? Could you be one of them? Stay tuned, because in this video, we're revealing 5 quiet but astonishing signs that your body and brain are defying expectations. Some of these will astound you, and one in particular, wait until you hear about number 3, is a game changer that even your doctor might not be talking about. By the end of this, you might just realize you're not simply getting older. You could be on the path to growing stronger, more vibrant, and more alive than you ever thought possible. If that sounds like a journey you want to be on, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell because you won't want to miss what's coming next. Let's dive in. You can get up from a chair, hands-free. It's such a mundane moment, isn't it? You're settled in your comfiest chair, lost in a good book or catching the evening news. Then it's time to get up, for a drink, to answer the door. But lately, have you noticed a hesitation? A subtle push-off from the armrests? Maybe even a quiet grunt or a second attempt to rise? It's easy to brush it off thinking, well, that's just what happens, right? But what if that small struggle, that almost imperceptible need for assistance, is a louder signal than you think? What if needing your hands to escape a chair isn't just a quirk of turning 70, 75, or 80, but a critical indicator of something you have incredible power to change? Most assume this is standard procedure after a certain age. But here's a secret. The ability to rise from a chair, no hands, is one of the most potent signs of your lower body strength, your coordination, and your precious independence. More than that, it's a startlingly accurate predictor of how vibrantly you'll continue to age. Think about it. When you stand without hand support, you're firing up your quadriceps, your glutes, your core, a whole symphony of muscles. But sarcopenia, that stealthy age-related muscle loss, begins its work quietly after 30, accelerating past 60. If ignored, it's a fast track to weakness, instability, and a terrifyingly higher risk of falls. And this is where it gets truly serious, folks. Difficulty standing unassisted doesn't just complicate daily tasks. It's a red flag for losing your independence, for potential hospitalizations, and some studies even link it to cognitive decline. How easily can you stand up from your favorite chair right now without using your hands? Think about it honestly. Does it surprise you? But here's the electrifying good news. It's never too late to rewrite this script. A simple, no-equipment exercise called the sit-to-stand can be your hero. Find a sturdy, armless chair, sit centered, feet flat, shoulder-width apart. Cross your arms over your chest. Now stand up. Smoothly, then slowly sit back down. That's one. Can't do it hands-free yet? No shame in that game. Start with a light touch for support and gradually, week by week, reduce it. Aim for 5 in a row, maybe twice a day. Waiting for the kettle to boil? Commercial break? Perfect sit-to-stand time. You're not just exercising, you're training for life. Let me tell you about Eleanor, a spirited 77-year-old from Austin, Texas. A year ago, she realized her beloved front porch swing felt miles away, and every chair in her house had become a launch pad, requiring an arm-assisted blast-off. Her granddaughter, bless her heart, gently showed her the sit-to-stand. Initially, Eleanor confessed she could barely manage one without clinging to the kitchen counter, feeling a wave of frustration and, frankly, a little fear. But she was determined. I wasn't going to let my chairs dictate my life, she told me. A few weeks of quiet persistence, and she was doing 3, then 5. Now? Eleanor does 15 every morning before her first cup of coffee. She's back to tending her rose garden, kneeling and rising with a grace that astounds her. Her confidence hasn't just returned, it's blooming. Eleanor shared something profound. I hadn't realized how many small pieces of my freedom I'd unknowingly surrendered until I started claiming them back, one stand at a time. So if you find yourself giving that little push, don't dismiss it. Don't let age be the default explanation. This single motion speaks volumes about your current strength and your future trajectory. You deserve to stand tall, on your own terms. Start small, stay steady, and remember, every unaided rise is a declaration to your body and spirit. I am still strong. I am still capable. I am vibrantly alive. You can recall names, dates, and those precious little details. We've all been there, haven't we? That heart-sinking moment, usually when you're well into your 60s or beyond. You're mid-story, painting a vivid picture with your words, and then poof, the name vanishes. Maybe it's a cherished former colleague from your days in Chicago, or that friendly barista from the corner cafe you frequented in Seattle. You can almost smell the old office coffee or the Seattle rain. You remember their laugh, but the name? It's like a ghost. Or perhaps you're chatting with your bright-eyed nephew about his latest school adventure. You're engaged, truly listening. But later, when your spouse asks what he's so excited about, the specifics have dissolved like sugar in tea. It's just normal, we're told. Happens to everyone. And yes, some memory shifts are part of the journey. But here's a question that could change everything. What if frequently forgetting names, important dates, or those tiny, treasured details isn't just an inevitable slide? What if remembering them, clearly and consistently, is a sign of extraordinary brain health, something to be celebrated and fiercely protected? What's one cherished detail or name you were surprised you remembered recently? Share that little victory in the comments below. Let's celebrate these moments. Your brain's ability to capture these specifics, a name, a birthday, what you had for dinner last Tuesday, is tied to what scientists call episodic memory. It's your internal biographer. And surprise, it's not programmed to self-destruct just because you've circled the sun 70 or 80 times. Many older adults maintain razor-sharp memories deep into their later years. How? Because the brain, while not a muscle, acts like one. Use it, challenge it, connect it, and it thrives, building and reinforcing those vital neural pathways called synapses. Stop engaging it, and those connections can weaken. That tip of the tongue frustration? Often it's not about memory loss, but retrieval. The information is in there, it's just hiding in a cluttered mental drawer. Stress, fatigue, isolation, even simple dehydration can play tricks on your recall. But memory is something you can actively nurture, and no, it doesn't always mean endless crossword puzzles, unless you love them. Here's a gentle but potent habit. Tell one story, in detail, every day. A childhood memory, a funny travel mishap, a significant life event. Share it with someone, a friend, a family member, even record it for yourself. Include names, dates if you can, what people were wearing, the weather. Why? Storytelling lights up multiple brain regions at once. Memory, language, emotion, imagination. It's like a full orchestra workout for your mind. Another trick? Say names aloud when you meet or talk to people. Hi, David. Great to see you. Thanks, David. That makes sense. It helps etch that name from fleeting short-term memory into more permanent storage. Consider Arthur, an 82-year-old retired history teacher living in sunny San Diego, California. Always known for his sharp intellect, Arthur started noticing names slipping a couple of years back. His daughter, a writer, gently suggested he jot down a few short memories daily in a journal. Nothing elaborate. He started with anecdotes from his teaching career, then stories of his late wife, his children's antics, even the mischievous beagle they had back in the 70s. Soon, Arthur was unearthing memories he hadn't touched in decades. And the unexpected bonus? His day-to-day recall sharpened significantly. He says with a twinkle in his eye, "It was as if my memories were covered in a fine layer of dust. Writing them down was like giving them a good polish. Now they shine." Arthur now hosts a popular memory lane chat at his local community center, where folks practice recalling and sharing. So, if you're the one who still remembers your childhood best friend's home phone number from 1968, or the exact shade of blue your partner wore on your first date, don't just shrug it off. That's not just hanging on. That's your brain firing on all cylinders. And if things have been slipping more often, don't panic. Start with one story today, not to test yourself, but to nourish your mind. Every name, every detail you hold on to is part of your invaluable legacy. Memory isn't just about the past. It's the anchor to who you are right now. So speak your stories, say the names, share the details. You are not fading. You are remembering. And that is a superpower. Are these insights resonating with you? If you're finding value in understanding these remarkable signs of ageless living, please take a moment to give this video a thumbs up. It truly helps us reach and inspire more people just like you. And let me know in the comments, which of these signs so far has surprised you the most? You can walk a mile without feeling utterly drained. There's a profound, almost primal comfort in a good walk, isn't there? Maybe it was those brisk morning walks with the dog in the crisp Colorado air, or those leisurely evening strolls hand in hand with your beloved around your Florida neighborhood. The simple rhythm of your feet, your breath syncing with the world. But for many over 65, that familiar ease begins to shift. That mile feels more like 5. A trip to the corner store feels like an expedition. Legs tire faster, breath catches quicker. You find yourself pausing, not by choice, but by necessity. And the familiar refrain echoes. Well, this is just part of the deal, isn't it? But I want you to pause and ask a truly critical question. What if it's not just age? What if your ability or inability to walk a solid mile without feeling like you've run a marathon is whispering something far more crucial about your overall health? This is the one I told you even your doctor might not emphasize enough. Because the unvarnished truth is this. The capacity to comfortably and confidently walk a mile is one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked indicators of how well your heart, lungs, muscles, and even your brain are performing. It's more than just getting from A to B. It's a living snapshot of your biological resilience. Doctors often refer to walking as a vital sign. It's a window into your cardiovascular health, respiratory efficiency, joint function, and even your potential longevity. Study after study links walking speed and endurance to how long and how well people live. It's a full-body symphony. But the challenge is real. Muscle mass declines, circulation can weaken, joints might stiffen. These small erosions make walking feel like a monumental effort. But, and this is a monumental but, that doesn't mean you surrender. It means you engage. If you can still stride out for a mile without undue rest, pain, or gasping for air, that's not just good for your age. That's exceptional. And if you're not there yet, here's the beautiful part. It's achievable, one gentle step at a time. Start ridiculously simple. A safe, flat route, your hallway, a quiet local park in, say, beautiful Boise, Idaho. Walk for 5 minutes. That's it. Tomorrow, try 6. Consistency over speed. Swing your arms, breathe, enjoy it. Meet Samuel, a 79-year-old former accountant from Charlotte, North Carolina. A few years back, he found himself winded just navigating the aisles of the supermarket, using the cart as a reluctant walker. His son, a physical therapist, nudged him towards walking. "Too old, too tired," Samuel would gruffly reply. But one sunny morning, a spark of defiance lit up. He walked to his mailbox and back. 10 minutes of effort left him sore, but surprisingly proud. The next day, a little further. Within a month, Samuel was completing a full mile around the local botanical garden 3 times a week. Today, he's the one organizing neighborhood walking groups. He says, I'd forgotten what strong felt like. Walking didn't just give me back my breath, it gave me back me. Walking clears the mind, lifts the mood, strengthens the heart, and even bolsters memory. Beyond the science, it gives you momentum, that feeling of still moving forward. When was the last time you truly enjoyed a walk, and where did you go? What did it feel like? So, if you can conquer that mile, celebrate it. And if you're not there, start with 1 minute, then 2. Every step is a victory. Every mile walked after 70 is a quiet, powerful declaration. I'm still here. I'm still strong, and I'm still going. Lace up, breathe deep, and step out. Even one block can be a new beginning. You sleep through the night peacefully. It's 2:37 a.m. The digital clock glows accusingly in the oppressive quiet. You've tried every position, fluffed every pillow. Maybe you've made that zombie shuffle to the bathroom, more out of restlessness than need. How many hours until sunrise? The calculation is a grim nightly ritual for millions. That blissful, uninterrupted 8 hours? For many older adults, it feels like a fairy tale from a forgotten land. That's just aging, the world says. Light sleep, early waking, the nocturnal bathroom pilgrimage. But is it really just age? What if waking at 2 or 3 a.m. isn't your non-negotiable destiny? What if sleeping soundly, deeply, right through till morning is still very much on the table even in your 70s, 80s, from Phoenix to Philadelphia? Here's the often missed truth. While sleep patterns can change with age, chronic disruption isn't always natural, and it's certainly not harmless. Sound sleep is a cornerstone of health, reflecting your nervous system, hormone balance, stress levels, and overall well-being. It's your body's nightly healing and restoration summit. Your brain's personal housekeeping crew clears out toxins, consolidates memories, and repairs cells. Missing out on deep sleep isn't just about feeling tired. It impacts your mood, memory, immunity, even your heart. So why does it get harder? Melatonin production can dip. Circadian rhythms might shift. Add chronic aches, medications, or anxiety. And solid sleep can feel like catching smoke. But here's the fascinating part. Many folks in their 70s and 80s still sleep like champs. Their secret? Not a magic pill, but small, intentional habits that honor the body's natural intelligence. Consider this gentle sleep rescue routine. 1. Consistent bedtime. Your brain craves rhythm. Same time to bed, same time to rise, even on weekends. 2. Wind down ritual. 30 to 60 minutes of calm before bed. Dim lights, a real book, not a screen. Soft music, gentle stretches. Signals slow down to your system. 3. Limit evening fluids, a major sleep thief. Drink more earlier in the day. 4. Morning light. Early sunlight is your body clock's best friend. 10 to 15 minutes of morning rays help set your day-night cycle. 5. News. Curfew, upsetting headlines before bed? A recipe for anxiety. Save news for daytime. Evenings are for peace. Let me introduce you to Beatrice, an 81-year-old widow living in a charming bungalow in Sedona, Arizona. For years after her husband passed, sleep was a nightly battle. She'd doze off with the TV on, only to jolt awake at 1 a.m., tossing and turning for hours. Melatonin offered little solace. What changed everything? She created her sleep sanctuary. No screens after 8 p.m., a calming lavender diffuser by her armchair where she reads poetry, a playlist of classical guitar music playing softly. Her mornings now start on her patio, sipping herbal tea, basking in the gentle Arizona sunrise. Within 3 weeks, Beatrice was sleeping a solid 7 hours. It's not just the sleep, she shared, her voice bright. I feel like Beatrice again, clear-headed, joyful. Good sleep is often about less interference, not more effort. If you're still sailing through the night, waking refreshed, that's a profound sign of inner harmony. And if not, don't despair. Start with one small adjustment tonight. A cup of chamomile tea, a gratitude journal, signal to your mind, we are safe, we can rest. Peaceful sleep isn't a youthful luxury, it's an ageless right. And if you are one of those blessed deep sleepers, know that your body is saying, I'm strong, I'm steady, I know how to rest and rise. You still feel curious, hopeful, and driven by purpose. There's a pervasive myth out there getting older means an inevitable dimming of the spirit. That the fire to explore, to learn, to try, just naturally fades. Maybe you've even felt whispers of it yourself. Retirement came, the kids are forging their own paths, and the days have settled into a quiet, predictable rhythm. Some call it peace. Others, with a sigh, call it normal. But here's a thought that could reignite everything. What if losing that spark, that curiosity, that passion, that sense of purpose isn't normal aging at all? What if feeling genuinely excited about life, eager to learn something new or contribute in some way, it is actually one of the most potent signs you're aging exceptionally well? That little flicker that makes you pick up a challenging book, ask why. Zerenia plan an unexpected day trip to a place like, say, historic Charleston, South Carolina? Or finally figure out that video call app your grandkids in Oregon are always using. That's not trivial. That's vitality. That's your mind declaring, I'm still open. I'm still interested. I am fully here. What's one thing, big or small, that you've been curious about lately or a new skill you've thought about learning? Share it. Maybe we can inspire each other. And science is cheering you on. Studies consistently show that older adults who stay mentally engaged, emotionally invested, and purposeful don't just live longer. They live with better cognitive function, stronger resilience, and even a reduced risk of conditions like dementia. Why? Curiosity is brain food. Hope is a stress reducer. Purpose is a powerful protector. If you're still curious, your brain is still thriving, thanks to neuroplasticity. Its incredible ability to rewire itself in response to new experiences, an ability that doesn't expire at 60, 70, or even 90. The tragedy is many stop feeding that curiosity, not because it's gone, but because they've bought into the lie, I'm too old for that. Or, what's the point now? Don't let that be your story. How to keep that flame alive. It's simpler than you think. Ask yourself every morning, what do I want to learn or explore today? It could be tiny. What kind of bird is making that racket outside? What's the real story behind that old building downtown? How do I bake a truly amazing sourdough loaf? Pick one. Spend 10 minutes on it. That tiny act of engagement switches your brain to on, and surround yourself with energy. Connect with people who discuss ideas, dreams, books, and new adventures. Consider Walter, now 89, living in a vibrant community in Portland, Oregon. After his wife passed, a profound quietness settled over him, a gray fog, as he called it. He'd lost his anchor, his spark. One day, his son gifted him an old digital camera. "You always had an eye for things, Dad," he said. Walter initially dismissed it, but a week later, driven by a moment of sheer boredom, he snapped a photo of a hummingbird at the feeder outside his window. It wasn't perfect, but something clicked. He took another. Then he started reading about photography online, then joined a local nature photography group. Last year, Walter's photo of a sunrise over Mount Hood won a local award. He told me, his eyes shining, it wasn't just about the pictures. It was about waking up with a reason again, a little thrill of, what might I see today? That's the magic. Hope, curiosity, drive. These aren't just youthful whims. They are the hallmarks of a spirit that refuses to be done. If you're still dreaming, wondering, asking, you're not just staying busy, you're staying awake. And if that spark has dimmed, you can coax it back. Start with one, I wonder. You've earned the right to be curious for you, not to prove anything, but to savor the richness still ahead. Narrator. So we've journeyed through 5 quiet, often profoundly underestimated signs that you might be aging in a way most people only dream of. If you recognized yourself in even one of these, if you rise from your chair with power, recall details with clarity, walk with enduring ease, sleep with restorative peace, or greet the world with an unquenchable curiosity, please take a moment. Breathe that in. Feel a deep sense of pride. Because these aren't just markers of good aging. They are declarations of vitality, testaments to resilience, and the undeniable evidence of a spirit that is not just alive, but radiantly, actively growing. And science is cheering you on. Studies consistently show that older adults who stay mentally engaged, emotionally invested, and purposeful don't just live longer. They live with better cognitive function, stronger resilience, and even a reduced risk of conditions like dementia. Why? Curiosity is brain food. Hope is a stress reducer. Purpose is a powerful protector. If you're still curious, your brain is still thriving, thanks to neuroplasticity. its incredible ability to rewire itself in response to new experiences, an ability that doesn't expire at 60, 70, or even 90. The tragedy is many stop feeding that curiosity, not because it's gone, but because they've bought into the lie, "I'm too old for that." Or, "What's the point now?" Don't let that be your story. How to keep that flame alive. It's simpler than you think. Ask yourself every morning, what do I want to learn or explore today? It could be tiny. What kind of bird is making that racket outside? What's the real story behind that old building downtown? How do I bake a truly amazing sourdough loaf? Pick one. Spend 10 minutes on it. That tiny act of engagement switches your brain to on, and surround yourself with energy. Connect with people who discuss ideas, dreams, books, and new adventures. Consider Walter, now 89, living in a vibrant community in Portland, Oregon. After his wife passed, a profound quietness settled over him, a gray fog, as he called it. He'd lost his anchor, his spark. One day, his son gifted him an old digital camera. "You always had an eye for things, Dad," he said. Walter initially dismissed it, but a week later, driven by a moment of sheer boredom, he snapped a photo of a hummingbird at the feeder outside his window. It wasn't perfect, but something clicked. He took another. Then he started reading about photography online, then joined a local nature photography group. Last year, Walter's photo of a sunrise over Mount Hood won a local award. He told me, his eyes shining, it wasn't just about the pictures. It was about waking up with a reason again, a little thrill of, what might I see today? That's the magic. Hope, curiosity, drive. These aren't just youthful whims. They are the hallmarks of a spirit that refuses to be done. If you're still dreaming, wondering, asking, you're not just staying busy, you're staying awake. And if that spark has dimmed, you can coax it back. Start with one, "I wonder." You've earned the right to be curious for you, not to prove anything, but to savor the richness still ahead. Narrator. So we've journeyed through 5 quiet, often profoundly underestimated signs that you might be aging in a way most people only dream of. If you recognized yourself in even one of these, if you rise from your chair with power, recall details with clarity, walk with enduring ease, sleep with restorative peace, or greet the world with an unquenchable curiosity, please take a moment. Breathe that in. Feel a deep sense of pride. Because these aren't just markers of good aging. They are declarations of vitality, testaments to resilience, and the undeniable evidence of a spirit that is not just alive, but radiantly, actively growing. We are so often bombarded with a narrative of decline, of fading, of stepping aside. But what if the truth is far more empowering? What if many of you listening right now are living proof that we can continue to learn, to strengthen, to become more, regardless of the date on our birth certificate? That isn't just inspiring, it's revolutionary. This isn't about denying age, it's about redefining what it means to age with power and grace. It's about realizing that your life, your experience, your wisdom, and your continued growth are not just personal victories, but beacons of possibility for everyone around you. Your journey holds the power to rewrite the script of aging for generations to come. So here's my heartfelt invitation to you. Choose one of these 5 signs this week, just one. Nurture it. Make it a small, joyful part of your daily rhythm. Let it be your anchor, reminding you that there is so much incredible life not just behind you, but stretching out gloriously ahead. You are not done. You are, in fact, just getting to the really good part. If these stories and insights touched you, if you saw a reflection of your own strength or the potential you're ready to unlock, please share your thoughts in the comments below. Which sign resonated most? What's one small step you'll take? Your story, your single sentence, could be the spark of hope someone else desperately needs to hear today. And if this video made you think of someone incredible in your life who is embodying this kind of vibrant aging, please share it with them. Let them know they are seen, celebrated, and that they are an inspiration. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Don't forget to like this video if you found it valuable, and subscribe for more content designed to help you live your strongest, most vibrant life at any age. We're in this together, crafting a future where aging isn't a retreat, but a magnificent unfolding. Walk tall, stay curious, and live fully.